Hi ladies! So the video that I have for you today is actually my highlighting and contouring routine. I go through how I do like my concealer, highlight, and then just the contour around my entire face. And yeah, so if you want to learn how I highlight and how I contour, then just keep watching. Hi everyone! Okay, so I'm going to show you how I contour and highlight. I'm going to start out with my Magic Lumi concealer from L'Oreal, and this is kind of like a salmon colored concealer, and I'm just going to be using that in all the places that I want to highlight my face. So I want to highlight my face definitely under my eyes. And then I also want to take, just going to take some of this, I'm going to put it down my nose. That is not down my nose. Down my nose. And then I'm also going to take some up here, sort of like in my T-zone, and then some right here on my chin. And then I'm just going to put a little like above my lip. And then I'm going to be taking whatever I used to put on my foundation. My foundation was already on, by the way. And I'm just going to be using, I use a beauty blender on my face, so I'm going to be taking my beauty blender and I'm just going to be blending this out into my skin. And I'm just going to be blending this all out. And I did make a video on how to use the beauty blender, so if you want to go check that out, I'll post a video down below or somewhere on the screen or anything. But it's really, really easy. All you do is kind of just basically blend in whatever you're putting on your face, and you just want to kind of pat up and down. I'm just going to be taking a translucent powder, and the translucent powder that I use is by Revlon. This is just translucent. And then I'm just going to be taking a big brush, and this is my Sonia Kashuk brush. And I'm just going to be making sure I get this powder buffed into my skin. Alright, so once I feel like I've buffed the powder enough into my skin so that my skin is smooth enough so that I can contour, I'm going to be taking two powders that I'm going to use to contour. I'm going to be using my NYX Matte Bronzer in medium. And this is what it looks like. It's a little dark for my skin, but I did kind of put, foundation that I used was a little, somebody's texting me while I'm making a video. So, it is kind of dark for my skin, but I do buff it out a lot. So I'm going to be using that to contour, and I'm also going to be using Fit Me Powder by Maybelline. I have two right here. I have 310 and 325. 325 is the one that I usually go for. I don't know if you can see the color because this light is so bright. 325 is the one that I usually go for, and 310 is just a little bit lighter. I like to use this one just to like buff out the sides if it comes out too dark. So I'm going to go ahead and take my NYX bronzer first. And I'm just going to be taking a really fluffy brush. This one is actually from BH Cosmetics. It's actually an eyeshadow brush. So I'm going to just be taking some of this on my brush, tapping it off. And if you don't know where to apply your contour, all you have to do is make a fish face, and these lines that your face makes, the indent that your face makes, is where you should be applying that line. But you don't want to go too close to your mouth because then you'll kind of look like you're cutting off your jaw or something like that. So you want to take what you have on your brush, and you're going to kind of put it right under, right here. So I'm going to try to keep it up here. Still texting me. And I'm going to start to build that color up a little bit. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. So once I'm done with my NYX bronzer, I'm going to be moving on to my Fit Me bronzer in 325. And I have a bunch of different brushes that I use for my contour. I have this one, which is just kind of like an angled brush, and then also this one, which is kind of a weird one, but it kind of gets like up in there. I'm going to use this one today, and I'm just going to be taking a little bit of this color on my brush, kind of blending that into what I have on my face. So if you kind of went too far, which I kind of did on this side, you can just take a beauty blender, especially Beauty Blender does this perfectly, is you can just kind of go over it and kind of blend it out, and it'll just kind of disappear. I'm actually going to take my Beauty Blender and kind of blend this all out. And then I'm going to go again with this brush that I used, and I'm just going to kind of blend that out. Because when you contour, you don't want it to be too like boom in your face, like oh my god, I contoured my face. You want it to just kind of be a little bit so that you can kind of see where your cheekbones are, and that's what you want to do. You just want to accentuate them just a little bit. So once I blended that out, I'm just going to be taking this brush that I use again, and I'm just going to go into my NYX bronzer. And I'm going to be contouring my nose. My nose is really hard to contour because it's not like straight, it's kind of like pudgy at the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to contour right up here. I'm going to be taking my fingers to blend that in. And then the last thing I like to do, instead of using the darker bronzer that I used, that I'm just kind of using to just kind of help like from the darkest to lightest kind of thing, I'm going to be taking just 310, my 310 and this brush again, and I'm just going to be contouring around my face. And I only do this a little bit, not too much, because I don't really like getting product in my hair. But I just do that around my face. It kind of, especially if you have a really big forehead, and I think I do have a big forehead. I mean, I know people tell me to go like this and ask me to see if my hand's as big as my head, and then I just get slapped in the face. Don't ever do that. If somebody asks you to put your hand, to see if your hand is as big as your head, don't do that, because they're going to slap you. They're just going to go like this. And I fall for it every time. But I feel like my forehead's just a little big, so what you can do to kind of make your forehead a little bit smaller is apply product around your head. And then you also want to accentuate your jawline. So that's just going to be right under. And then I like to take some and just blend that in. I'm just going to apply a blush. I'm using a NYX blush in Peach. I'm just going to put that on the apples of my cheeks. And then the last thing that I like to do for my highlight is I actually don't really own any like actual highlight. I like to use eyeshadow because I feel like it comes out so much more. And when when you highlight, you don't really want like a really bright shine. You want kind of, you just don't want to look shiny. You want to look glowy. So that's what you want. You want like a glowy kind of eyeshadow, like a really like just an eyeshadow with a little bit of shimmer. So the eyeshadows that I like to use the most, that work the best on my skin, are the 2 eyeshadows in the Naked palettes. So here's my Naked 2 palette, and here is Bootycall. As you can see, it's just like, if you have this, I'm sure most of you do, it's very, I dropped my brush. It's got like a peachy color to it, almost kind of like a pinky color. And it's got a little bit of shimmer to it, not too much. So I'm just going to be taking some of that on the brush that I used to blend in the beginning. And I'm going to place that on the highest part of my cheeks. I'm also going to place this down just the front of my nose. I don't want to place this on, I have a pudgy nose, so I don't want to place this on this part of my nose, because then it's going to make this part of my nose look a lot bigger. So I'm just going to place it right here on my nose. And then I'm also going to take some of this on my finger and highlight my Cupid's bow. Other places that you can highlight as well are under your brow bone. And also in your tear ducts. So if you're just feeling like you don't want to do anything today, you just want to kind of do the face really pretty, then just take some highlighter and just kind of highlight all those spots. So you want the highest part of your cheeks, your Cupid's bow, down your nose, your inner tear duct, under your brow bone, and also I kind of put a little down here too, but I don't really have anything on my lips, so kind of made them look a little pretty. But yeah, so that is how I highlight and contour my face. If you can see it, just turn off my light. But yeah, so that is it for my highlighting, contouring video. I hope this helps you. I hope you enjoy, and if you have any questions or comments, then leave them down below. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram. It is Beauty by Julia, and I will see you ladies in my next video. Bye!